words down on paper because I can detach from my own emotions and actually say what it is that I want to say. But I don't think I want to write you a letter. I'm not even sure what I want anymore. But I'm definitely hurt, and there's a lot of disappointment. And it comes from a place of, it's been like, 10 or 11 years since we held space together. And I don't know. You told me your side of the story when you wanted to clear the air, but you never really stopped to, ask how it affected me or anything about me. And it's always kind of been that way between you and I, in the sense that you've never really bothered to check in to see where my headspace is at. Even back then, you never bothered to check in where my headspace was at, or how I feel, or how it affects me, other than how it affects me because it affects you. And it's just it's always been about you. It's always been very narcissistic in a weird, fucked up way, because you're completely neurotic in a lot of ways, and extremely talented and extremely creative, but completely neurotic. You self-sabotage more than anyone I've ever met. And I don't know why that's your own cross to bear. It's not my place to judge, but I don't know. All those years ago, I honestly thought that we actually did have a real connection. I was having a real connection. And I thought that you and I did. I really honestly did. I know that you thought it was just fun and games, and then maybe possibly you developed feelings. I don't really honestly know. It was never fun and games for me. I actually did open up my life, my heart, my family, and I held space for you. And I really did open myself up and share really who I was, and I allowed myself to be vulnerable with you. It was never a game. It was never having fun. I honestly accepted you for who you were and what you were, and I really did love you, and I did fall in love with you, and that's never stopped. I mean, I've held space for you in my heart all of these years. I mean, in a lot of ways, yeah, I am still in love with you, and that hasn't gone away. But it's just every time I've seen you since then, it's, you broke my heart. And you broke it for no reason. And the reason that you gave me back then was I was a roller coaster ride. That was the metaphor you actually used, which was so fucking irritating. But you actually told me I was a roller coaster ride, and you never knew what to expect. Thus, it wasn't stable for you. And so you didn't want it. What I didn't know is that it was because you were going to marry your neighbor, who thought I was a troll. But whatever. But it's just it was fucked up. It was completely fucked up, especially after you completely pursued it to the point where you asked me to deal with my emotions, and I did, and you literally just shunned me and broke my heart. And since then, I've put my emotions aside, and I know that you and I have had our ups and downs, and I know that I've been hot and cold, and I get really frustrated with you, and a lot of that probably is because we never really resolved that. And every time I see you, we're completely drawn towards each other, or maybe I'm just drawn towards you, and I want to share space with you, and it's always fucked up and weird and ends really fucking badly, and I never know why. And this time around, you wanted to clear the air, and so you tell me all this shit about how you feel about me, which I honestly don't even know if it's even true, to be honest, because it doesn't feel like it is. It feels like a conversation that you might have had with other women. I don't feel like I'm any different than any of your other little bimbos that you run around with. I, honest to God, feel like I could have been anybody. Literally. I just happen to see you sometimes, and it's just I'm on the back burner. Essentially, I'm the fallback when I'm nearby and there's nothing else to gravitate towards. But I don't feel special. I don't feel unique. I certainly don't feel that you were ever in love with me or that you do love me now. I don't feel that at all. And it's just like, I do feel like I could have been anyone, and that sucks and that hurts, because it totally makes the experiences that I've had with you really fucking shallow and really fucking empty. And that's a horrible feeling, to know that the connection that you had with somebody, it was a connection you were having all by yourself, because they're having that connection with 50,000 other people, and there's no difference, and there's nothing unique or special about it, because tomorrow or an hour from now, he's gonna have that same connection with someone else that rolled up, that inspires him in some way, that challenges him or inspires some kind of creativity that he can turn into some fucking ball of mess that he can write about. You have no idea how that feels at all. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And I guess maybe that was naive of me and really fucking stupid, but like this weekend, that's really honestly how I felt. And it's just like, you told me that you love me, and I actually extended myself several times to you and was just like, I would like to spend time with you on an honest level. And it was just like, you literally couldn't give me that. That was too much to ask. You know, so words don't mean shit when your actions say everything else. And there's so much to say, and I honestly feel like you telling me that you love me and clearing the air was really you saying goodbye to me and unloading whatever guilt or whatever it was that you've been holding on to. But love, no, maybe an idea. But no, I don't feel like it was love. I don't feel like any of it was real. And I am kind of bummed that I slept with you, because you're the only person I did sleep with. And I slept with you because I actually really do love you. And it sucks. Quite honestly. It fucking sucks. And I'll probably always love you. But I don't know how close I want to be to you, and I don't really know if I want you in my life. Because I feel like you're really reckless with other people's emotions, because you're so busy having your own. I don't really feel like you take the time to sit still long enough to really allow other people's emotions in the room, because yours are so fleeting and so all over the place, and you go from one experience to the next to the next to the next, and it's just like, I don't really feel like you sit still long enough to actually share that kind of space, at least not with me. I don't feel that at all. I don't feel like it's an even exchange. I don't feel like it has been an even exchange, and I'm not quite sure what it was. But it hurts, and I feel like I got my heart broken all over again, and I'm not quite sure why, other than maybe you needed to say goodbye. But that was a piss poor way to do it, a really piss poor way to do it, because going about it that route was really selfish, and it was about you, and it had nothing to do with me, and it had nothing to do with us. It was all about making yourself feel better about all of it. So I'm glad that you got it off your chest, and I'm glad that you feel better about it, and you're in a much better space about it, and it's not whatever. But I don't. You could have just said goodbye. You could have just said sorry. You didn't need to reopen that. I didn't need that reopened. I really honestly didn't. So I don't know, that's how I feel. And it sucks. And I know it'll pass. And I know tomorrow I'll be fine. But that's how I feel right now. And as I'm letting all of these emotions wash over me and everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks, that's really where I sit right now. And it sucks. I don't appreciate being treated like some insignificant little fucking bimbo, because I'm not. And I don't like being treated like I'm just a goddamn fucking number, because I'm not. And I'm sorry you couldn't take the time to fucking figure that out. I really, truly am.